Hello. Please take your seats. The ceremony will begin in 10 minutes. Students, students and invited guests, I am Michelle Rodriguez-Taylor from the SPH Office of Student Affairs. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health Spring Commencement Ceremony. Today's music is provided by Circle Center Brass under the direction of Michael Hogg. This commencement brings together members of the University of Illinois Chicago family, students, college administration, faculty and staff, relatives, alumni, and friends. Before we begin today's ceremony, to assure that everyone enjoys this meaningful event, would you please take a moment now to turn off or mute any electronic devices that may distract from the ceremony? Thank you. At this time, I present to you the administration of the University of Illinois Chicago and of the School of Public Health. I now present to you members of our distinguished faculty. Everyone, please rise as you are able and join us in singing the national anthem led by Anna Jacobson. The words can be found in the back of your program.
Oh, say,
In the spirit of building a better future and healing, I would like to take a few moments to acknowledge that the UIC resides on the traditional territories of the three Fire peoples, Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi. This area was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for more than a dozen other Native tribes. What's more, the state of Illinois is currently home to more than 75,000 tribal members, and the Chicagoland area is currently home to one of the largest and most diverse urban Native communities in the U.S. We recognize that Indigenous peoples are the traditional stewards of the land that we now occupy, living here long before Chicago was a city and still thriving here today. As we work together today on these territories and in the year ahead, we must remember our responsibility, especially as a land-grant and Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander serving institution, Hispanic serving institution, and minority serving institution, to find ways to right the historic wrongs of colonization and state violence, and to build bridges with and support Indigenous communities' struggles for self-determination and sovereignty.
Good evening, everyone. You have no idea how awesome you all look this evening, and it's great to be here with you. I'm Wayne Giles. I'm Dean of the School of Public Health, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the commencement of the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health Class of 2023. Yes! Doesn't that sound amazing, Class of 2023? For those of you with friends and family who could not attend, our ceremony is being simultaneously webcast on the internet. Due to time constraints, we ask that individuals remain seated and refrain from approaching the stage during this ceremony. A professional photograph of each student will be available for purchase. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to please turn off your cell phones, pagers, and other electronic devices during the commencement ceremony. Over the last 3 years with the COVID pandemic, it's been clear we need a strong and well-educated public health workforce. And it is a privilege to be charged with the education and development of the next generation of public health leaders. A privilege that our faculty and esteemed guests respect and are committed to fulfilling. I am honored to present to you the administration of UIC and the School of Public Health, our distinguished guests, faculty of the school, and I ask that you hold your applause until all have been introduced. In the first row, starting on my right, is Dr. Timothy Killeen, President of the University of Illinois System. Dr. Robert Barish, Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs for the University of Illinois, Chicago. Admiral Rachel Levine, Assistant Secretary for Health for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and head of the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps, and I'm pleased to state our honored keynote speaker today. Dr. Allison Arwady, Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health. Dr. Lamar Hasbrook, Chief Operating Officer for the Cook County Department of Public Health. Dr. Joanna Groden, Vice Chancellor for Research. Dr. Jonathan Art, representing the UIC Graduate College. Dr. Benjamin Shaw, Division Director and Professor of Community Health Sciences. Dr. Kristen Malecki, Division Director and Professor of Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences. Dr. Ronald Hershow, Division Director and Associate Professor of Epidemiology and Biostatistics. Dr. Pierre Legere, Interim Division Director and Associate Professor of Health Policy and Administration. Dr. Christina Welter, Program Director for the Doctorate of Public Health Program and Clinical Associate Professor of Health Policy and Administration. Dr. Rashed Ahmed, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Interim Director of the Public Health Undergraduate Program. Dr. Jamie Shrieky, Senior Associate Dean. On the second row, starting on my right, Dr. Bernicki Floyd, Associate Dean for Community Engagement. Dr. David Dubois, Associate Dean for Research. Dr. Maria Argos, Interim Associate Dean for Global Health. Dr. Laura Berman, Adjunct Assistant Professor of Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences. Emily Etzkorn, representing the Public Health Student Association. Ms. Catherine Koo, representing our Alumni Council. Ms. Abigail Solomon, graduate of the Maternal and Child Health (EPI), a Master's in Public Health program, and Ms. Temi Sotapeg, graduate of the Bachelor of Science in Public Health program. Our marshals today are Ms. Natalie Berta and Mr. Ube Uran Anlun. Please welcome all of our platform guests. Let me say at the outset, this is a celebration. Students have worked extremely hard over the last several years. We need to celebrate their success. So I expect to hear lots of hoops and hollers and screams and all of that other good stuff. So I'm great to hear the energy in the room today. Sitting in the audience are many distinguished alumni from the school, and we are thrilled that you are here to celebrate with us today. We are also delighted today to have distinguished members of the public health profession in the audience. Please welcome all of our distinguished public health practitioners. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health, it is my pleasure to welcome our distinguished guests, our alumni, family and friends of our graduates, and most importantly, all of the graduates. Our school's student population reaches far beyond the Chicago area. We have a vibrant group of online students, each of whom are poised to use their public health degrees to make a difference throughout the globe. To our online graduates and any of our graduates who could not join us today, congratulations. We honor you and know that we are with you in spirit. I want to take a minute to speak to the families of our graduates. You must be very proud, as we are, of the achievements of our graduates whom we are honoring today. We know that they would not be here without your support, and so we would like to acknowledge your contributions as well. As I ask each group in turn to rise, please only do so if you are able. Would all the parents, guardians, and grandparents of our graduates please rise so that we may honor you? Please be seated. Would all the spouses, significant others, and children of our graduates please rise so that we can honor you? Please be seated. And it goes without saying that our graduates would not be here today without the efforts of the school faculty and academic staff. Would the faculty and academic staff please rise to be honored? Please be seated. Finally, would all of the graduates please stand and congratulations? Please be seated. There you go. Please be seated. Now it is my privilege to introduce the 20th President of the University of Illinois System, Dr. Tim Killeen. When he took office in 2015, President Killeen brought more than 3 decades of experience as a teacher, researcher, and administrator in public higher education and in top leadership positions with national scientific research agencies. Dr. Killeen is committed to continuing the University of Illinois system's rise as a global leader through academic programs that transform students' lives and pioneering innovation that drives progress and economic growth. Please join me in welcoming to the podium President Killeen.
Good evening. I'm just so honored to be with you here today, students, families, friends, especially the graduates, to celebrate one of the handful of days that you will remember for the rest of your lives. On behalf of everybody across the University of Illinois system, which is a big system and it's yours, congratulations to the UIC Chicago class of 2023. In choosing UIC, you learned in a community that reflects the health equity challenges experienced by so many people throughout the world. And these issues are not abstract concepts, as you know. They're significant factors that undermine the quality of life that most of us take for granted. You learned the theory here, and you experienced the realities of the challenges. In your time here, you made such a difference in the Chicago neighborhoods. You also contributed to the efforts of prominent agencies in directly addressing the public health crisis, the needs of the global populations. And now you're stepping forward to put those experiences to work, to meet an ever-expanding list of challenges. Thank you, personally, thank you for answering this call. It's exciting to consider and imagine the ways that so many people will benefit directly from your efforts. There is, in my mind, no more noble calling than the one that you have embraced. Your path to this day was like no other. While the pandemic may seem in some ways like old news, I'm sure you have vivid memories of how your experiences were affected by the most daunting public health crisis of the last century. You didn't ask for that challenge, and you couldn't plan for it either. But you adapted, you persevered, and in the end, you succeeded. Through your focus and your collaboration with classmates, generous collaboration with classmates and faculty, you carried forward the phenomenal research and scholarship that are the hallmarks of this city's only public research university. And that was no small accomplishment. And UIC's role in developing and distributing COVID-19 vaccines while you were here played a significant role in getting all of us to where we are today. But this wasn't the only journey you completed during your years at UIC. You arrived with your own unique experiences and narratives, your own ideas about the world, and your own stories. Then you met new people from different backgrounds and experiences and learned from them and with them. We hope that this has given you a better understanding of people, an understanding that they are not defined solely or valued by demographics, beliefs, or politics. We also hope that this gave you a deep UIC appreciation for hearing one another, even when you have differences, without the anger that it is so easy to fall into, but with patience and with empathy. For far too many right now, the anger and rage have become easy answers to the world's many challenges, but they're really no answers at all. So you have the opportunity and now the responsibility and the tools to be part of the solution, to be the antidote to unfounded outrage. So you, the new proud graduates of UIC and members of this great family, can be part of solutions that we need moving forward. You've accomplished so much in your time here. Let's build on those tremendous deeds and continue looking for ways to bring people together in search of better futures for all. Y para todos nuestros graduados latinos y latinas, ha sido una gran travesía el llegar a este momento, en el que estén aquí el día de hoy demuestra todos sus éxitos. No olviden todo lo que tuvieron que vencer durante su jornada de aprendizaje. El camino, las amistades y la trayectoria son de un gran valor, superando todas las adversidades. You are joining a community now of more than 323,000 UIC alumni. Just think about that for a second. 323,000. That's a big city. And, and in this digital world, that network is just a few mouse clicks away. Just make sure you pause a second before you hit the send button, in every case. I am so deeply and immensely proud of who you are and what you've accomplished and what you represent for our institution. And I cannot wait to see the many, many ways that you will achieve success in the world. Please remember that your UIC family will be with you every step of the way and waiting here, eager to share and hear of your successes when you return again and again and again and again. Don't be away. Congratulations again to our class of 2023.
Thank you, President Killeen. It is now my pleasure to welcome UIC's Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs, Dr. Robert Barish, to the podium. Dr. Barish is a distinguished physician and academic leader dedicated to the pursuit of health equity. He oversees UIC's 7 health science colleges, including campuses in Chicago, Peoria, Quad Cities, Rockford, Springfield, and Urbana. Dr. Barish also leads the University of Illinois Hospital and Health Sciences System, or UI Health, a clinical enterprise that includes a 455-bed tertiary care hospital, more than 40 outpatient clinics, including 13 mile-square health center locations, which are federally qualified health centers. In 2019, Dr. Barish received the William Cullen Bryant Award, the highest honor from his alma mater, New York Medical College. He has served as chair of the board of the Association of Academic Health Centers since 2020, and more recently, in 2022, Dr. Barish was appointed to the board of directors for the Association of American Medical Colleges. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Vice Chancellor Barish.
Thank you, Dean Giles and President Killeen. I have to say, I've been to many ceremonies at the Forum. I've never seen it like this. It's like standing room only. So congratulations, and it's just an awesome sight. And I just want to give everybody a hand for that. So welcome to the families, partners, friends, faculty, and supporters of our outstanding graduates. It's our pleasure to welcome each of you to campus for this celebration of the next generation of graduates from the UIC School of Public Health. Today, we also welcome everyone unable to be here today who are watching the ceremony online, being the live stream. And most importantly, to the graduates who I'm looking at here, congratulations to you, class of 2023. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to come together in person to celebrate your accomplishments today. Each of you have met rigorous requirements and learned from the formidable training of our distinguished faculty to take place among our graduates. You worked diligently, as you've heard from our speakers, to earn your degrees and all the benefits and opportunities that come with successful completion of your studies. Through hard work, you fulfilled the commitment you made when you began this journey and reached this day having faced many challenges. Your class was most deeply impacted by the evolving environment of the COVID-19 pandemic and the social justice movement. During this time, you have certainly learned about the important roles of public health leaders, researchers, and health professionals play in helping to support our communities. Indeed, the School of Public Health, class of 2023, is certain to remember your years of public health education for your entire lives. I am certain that each of you have learned and grown into your role as healthcare leaders for the future. I hope that each of you will take this learning with you throughout your career as you aim to provide compassionate care and impact the health and wellness of our communities, both near and far. As the Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs, it's become evident to me that this class of dedicated and talented individuals will continue to have successful careers as public health leaders, researchers, and innovators. This moment marks yet another beginning in your journey. Indeed, we have and are confident that your education and training at UIC have prepared you for what lies ahead. So this this class of 2023 will be like few others. You will be cited, you will be quoted, and interviewed about your experiences for generations to come. Beyond the disciplines to which you applied yourself over the course of your studies at UIC, there are lessons that will be unique to your class forever. As you begin this next chapter in your career, I encourage you to look forward with curiosity and excitement to what lies ahead in your future. Use the sense of initiative and excitement that was fostered at UIC to innovate and establish new paths for those who will follow in your footsteps. As UIC's newest graduates, each of you will now pick up the mantle of responsibility from those who have preceded you. And when you walk out these doors, please remember to return. We want to hear about your accomplishments. We want you to remain part of the growing UIC alumni family. So once again, I'm incredibly proud of all of you. And on behalf of the entire UIC community, I know we are eager to see what you will do as you forge a new beginning in your careers ahead. Wherever you go, I know you will shine as every flame shines brightly, and that you will be lighting the way for all of those that come after you. Congratulations to the class of 2023.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor Barish. I now have the distinct honor of introducing Admiral Rachel Levine, who serves as the 17th Assistant Secretary for Health for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and as the head of the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps. Admiral Levine works every day to improve the health and well-being of all Americans. She worked to help the nation overcome the COVID-19 pandemic and build a stronger foundation for a healthier future, one in which all Americans can achieve their full health potential. After graduating from Harvard College and Tulane University School of Medicine, Admiral Levine completed training in pediatrics and adolescent medicine at the Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York City. She was also a professor of pediatrics and psychiatry at the Penn State College of Medicine. In 2015, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf nominated Admiral Levine to be Pennsylvania's Physician General. During her time at the Pennsylvania state government, Admiral Levine worked to address Pennsylvania's opioid crisis, focus attention on maternal and child health issues, and improve immunization rates. Her decision to issue a standing order for the anti-overdose drug naloxone saved thousands of lives across the state. Admiral Levine is a member of the National Academy of Medicine, a fellow of the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Society of Adolescent Health and Medicine, and the Academy for Eating Disorders. She was also the president of the Association of State and Territorial Health Officials. Admiral Levine is an accomplished speaker and author of numerous publications on the opioid crisis, adolescent health, climate change, and LGBTQ medicine. You are in for a real treat. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Admiral Levine.
Well, thank you, Dean. No pressure now. So it is certainly my pleasure to join the faculty of the University of Illinois Chicago School of Public Health to congratulate the spring graduating class of 2023. This is truly a special occasion, and I am honored to be speaking with you this evening. To all of today's graduates, congratulations on taking this important step in your lives. You have obviously made a wise decision coming to school here, and you received an outstanding education under challenging circumstances. I also want to recognize and congratulate your parents and grandparents, your families, and everyone that has joined you here today. As the dean had mentioned, after finishing my bachelor's degree, I did not do what was expected of me. I did something rather unimaginable. I went to medical school at Tulane in New Orleans, Louisiana. So you have to understand the vast majority of my Harvard classmates went to business school, or they went to law school in the Northeast. Many of them ended up in Wall Street. I went to Louisiana. But I did the unexpected, and I have done the unexpected many times in my life. And I guarantee you, in all of my years of practicing medicine and academic medicine, I did not expect to be the Assistant Secretary for Health and a four-star admiral leading the United States Public Health Service Commission Corps. After I graduated from medical school, I moved to New York City to train in pediatrics and adolescent medicine at Mount Sinai. Now, this was New York City of the 1980s. The atmosphere was full of the Wall Street boom. Cats was on Broadway. The Phantom of the Opera just started on Broadway. And there was a sense that the city was the center of all. But there were dark times as well, because this was during the beginning of the HIV/AIDS crisis. I was a young and confident physician, certain that I could tackle the small task of eliminating all of the ailments of the children and youth in New York City. Not that I was idealistic in any way. I realized quickly that it would take more than 1 year to accomplish this. It would take really all 5 years of my training to accomplish that. Looking back at those times now, one thing I did learn is that you do have to have patience and persistence. Set realistic goals, take one step at a time, but keep going. And while I did not eliminate all the ailments of the children in New York City, I did make a difference for individual children and their families. And on days that you get frustrated with our public health system, and perhaps there'll be a few, please remember the ways in which your work improves people's lives. After a decade in New York, I again did the unexpected. I moved from my very small apartment in New York City to the open and fertile fields of central Pennsylvania, where I started and ran the adolescent medicine program at the Penn State College of Medicine and the Penn State Hershey Medical Center right there in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where it is true, you can smell the chocolate in the evening. And that's where I started an eating disorder program. And then in 2015, my life took another unexpected turn. I was minding my own business, well ensconced in academic medicine, division chief, vice chair, seeing my patients, teaching students, running my program, when I got a phone call asking me to co-chair the Transition Committee for Health for Governor-elect Wolf. And during that process, I became intrigued by the work that they were doing at the Pennsylvania Department of Health, particularly in terms of population health. And then the next thing I knew, I was the Physician General of Pennsylvania, and then soon the Secretary of Health of Pennsylvania. Leaving academic medicine to join government service may have been the most unexpected thing that I have ever done. I did not go into medicine to build a career in government, but I did go into medicine to help people, and government service and public health offers the chance to do that with a broader perspective and a broader brush. In January of 2021, the Biden transition me asked me if I would be interested in the position of the Assistant Secretary for Health. Actually, they texted me about 10 o'clock at night. The next morning, I answered that and went, well, yeah, I'll do that. And now I stand before you in a position that I never imagined I would hold, and it is truly the honor of my lifetime. I get to wake up every day with a mission of helping people, and this role lets me help people across our nation by helping to set public health policy. Now, among my duties, I am also the head of the United States Public Health Service Commission Corps, which is up to 6,000 medical and public health professionals which serve our nation, really throughout our country and also internationally. As America's health responders, the Public Health Service officers are the first in line to defend our nation's public health against threats large and small, including, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. So I encourage you to maybe think outside the box and to learn more about this amazing group of individuals who have a desire to protect our nation's health and to serve those most in need. Now, who would have expected that we would all experience the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic? COVID-19 has certainly tested many of your skills, and it has tested all of our skills, especially your resilience and adaptability. The pandemic has thrust the importance of public health right into the spotlight. Public health is truly the center of the universe. I used to think Brooklyn was the center of the universe, but actually, right now, it's public health. Maybe Chicago is the center of the universe. It has taught us also the incredible importance of flexibility and adaptability, and those are skills that you will need. One of the biggest lessons as public health professionals is to remember also your own physical and mental health. In the intersection between them, realize when you need a break and when you're giving too much of yourself. You can only help others if you're healthy too. Despite the heavy toll it has exacted, COVID-19 and the challenges of the past 3 years have reminded us of a fundamental truth, that we need each other, that our happiness and our very survival depend upon our connections to one another and to our community, and that it is that spirit of community that makes our country great, and it is truly what we need now more than ever. As you depart UIC, you should know that life may take you on many different turns and send you on many unexpected paths, but I am confident that the education that you received here will prepare you for all of the expected roads and the unexpected roads. I encourage you to take those unexpected roads. Only you know the possibilities of the future. You could become a New Yorker. You could go into academics. You could become a Secretary of Health in a state. You could become an admiral. The expected and the unexpected await you. And you are ready for both. In your time at UIC, you have learned the need for compassion and sensitivity, for empathy and concern for your family and your friends, for your classmates, for your families and yourselves. You have learned the importance of patience and curiosity. You have learned the need to be calm and confident, and the ability to innovate and to expect the unexpected. Now, everyone likes a quote, especially a pithy quote, and so knowing today's date, I don't know if you are aware, I'm going to go talk to a little-known philosopher, Yoda. Now, it's not Baby Yoda, that's different. We're talking about the original Yoda of Star Wars, who said, "Your path, you must decide." How brilliant. Your path, you must decide. So I encourage you to do just that, and I'm glad I did. Do not live your life with fear. The same philosopher, Yoda, says fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. I think that is true. So expect the unexpected, have big goals for your career, and know that life may take many different turns, send you on new paths, and just take that unexpected leap, because you will be glad that you did. So in closing, I offer my most enthusiastic congratulations to today's graduates. The education that you received during your time here, both in and outside the classroom, has prepared you for your personal and professional success. I ask every graduate to use the education that you have received to work towards the common good. With hard work and intense focus, your class will usher in a brighter future for our nation and our world. You are starting on a remarkable journey. I have complete faith and confidence in you, and may the 4th be with you. Thank you very much.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Admiral Levine, please accept this as a small token of appreciation for your words and everything you do to keep all Americans healthy. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Nice job. Each year, the school presents awards to honor excellence in teaching. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Emily Excorn, representing the Public Health Student Association, to present the 2023 Teaching Awards.
Great teachers are the heart of a great university. The University of Illinois Chicago annually recognizes and honors its outstanding faculty. Recipients of the Silver Circle Award are selected by our students, who honor those who have taught them with distinction. This year's winner is Professor Laurel Berman. Please come forward to accept your award. Thank you.
UIC recognizes graduates who have distinguished themselves in various ways during their academic careers. Will the following students please rise and remain standing? Graduates who have been members of the Honors College as designated by the gold stoles that you wear. Graduates of high academic achievement, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude as designated by gold, silver, and bronze cords that you wear. Graduates who have earned college honors, and graduates who have earned departmental distinction, please stand. All of you can remain standing. Let's congratulate all of the graduates today. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Now it is my pleasure to invite Senior Associate Dean and our Delta Omega Chapter President, Dr. Jamie Shrieke, to the podium to conduct this year's induction ceremony and also the Student Awards.
Thank you, Dean Giles. The list of this year's Delta Omega inductees is listed inside the back cover of your program. Delta Omega is the Honorary Society for Public Health. It was established in 1924 to recognize the outstanding achievement in the new field. As such, members are selected for their contributions to and commitment for high standards of academic and professional competence and service. Membership in Delta Omega reflects the dedication of an individual to increasing the quality of the field, as well as to the protection and advancement of the health of all people. This is an occasion for inviting new members into the society who share the same commitment and goals. We welcome them and this opportunity to recognize their achievement to earn this distinction. To our newest inductees, it is an honor for us to have you join the society. As a student member, you embody the mission and vision of Delta Omega. Your qualifications have been reviewed and acted on favorably by the leadership of this chapter. We hope membership in the society is an honor for you as well. Membership in Delta Omega has special meaning in that you're dedicating yourself to continued excellence in the field of public health. As such, you ascribe to high standards of performance in all that you do. We will now ask you to take the oath to join Delta Omega. Please state "I will" after every statement. I aspire to demonstrate excellence in practice in the field of public health.
I will.
I aspire to demonstrate excellence in research in the field of public health. I aspire to demonstrate excellence in education in the field of public health. I aspire to demonstrate excellence in academic achievement in the field of public health. Congratulations and welcome to the Lambda chapter of Delta Omega. You may return to your seats, new members of Delta Omega. You can return to your seats. It is now my pleasure to announce this year's SPH Student Award recipients, whom we recognize and honor annually at our commencement ceremony. The Public Health Promise Award is presented each year to an outstanding graduating baccalaureate student who is deemed by faculty and peers to show the greatest potential for future contributions to public health, as demonstrated by academic performance, community engagement, and leadership. This year's recipient is Tammy Lo Lu Hua, Sho Di Pai. The Alan W. Donaldson Award is presented each year to honor one graduating student who exhibits significant academic excellence, qualities of leadership, and community service. It is the most prestigious award granted by the UIC School of Public Health and is a memorial to Alan W. Donaldson, a founding father of the school and its first associate dean. This year, I'm delighted to present the Donaldson Award to Abigail Suluman. Please join us in recognizing these two outstanding graduates.
I would like to welcome again President Killeen and Vice Chancellor Barish to the podiums.
Candidates, please rise and remain standing. President Killeen, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these doctoral, master's, and baccalaureate candidates for the corresponding degrees for which they stand.
Thank you, Dr. Barish. Upon these recommendations and by authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degrees for which you have been presented and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of those degrees. Congratulations. And you may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Yay. Please be seated.
Congratulations again to all the graduates and their families. It is now my pleasure to invite Alumni Council Representative Ms. Catherine Koo to the podium to welcome our new graduates into the Alumni Association.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine Koo, and I'm a proud alumna of the UIC School of Public Health, having earned my Bachelor's of Arts here in 2017. Today is my honor to represent my fellow alumni as a member of the UIC School of Public Health Alumni Council. First and foremost, I would like to offer my most heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2023. I'm so pleased to be one of the very first to welcome you to your new status as graduates of the very proud, loyal, and global University of Illinois alumni family. You joined the nearly 300,000 UIC graduates who live, work, and play throughout the world, in every state of the nation and in more than 100 countries. Not only that, but you join a very strong local network that is also strengthened by over 500,000 alumni from the other University of Illinois campuses. Together, we represent all that is good about this university: dedication, hard work, and striving to be better for our communities. Much of what the world will read, hear, think, and believe about our alma mater will be based upon our actions, achievements, and commitments as the UIC alumni body. As you embark on this next chapter in your journey, one of the best things that you can do is to stay connected with the UIC and alumni family. Here are some easy ways to help you do that. First, maintain your relationships with your classmates who are now your alumni family and your professors. You can do so by signing up for UIC Connected. This networking platform will help you keep in touch, look for a job, or pursue valuable mentorship from our talented alumni community. Next, I strongly encourage you to attend our UIC SPH alumni events, not just for the good food and good company, but that's definitely a plus. As we're beginning to safely celebrate in person again, I recommend checking the UIC SPH website for upcoming events. And finally, connect with UIC's various social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and keep up to date with the amazing work our faculty, alumni, and students are doing across our communities in Chicago and around the world. As a token of our pride in your accomplishments, you will find a gift from the School Public Health Alumni Council on your seats. Inside, you'll find a reminder to stay connected with us here at SPH. And finally, I leave you with the thought that your legacy at UIC and the School of Public Health does not end, but shall continue throughout your life course and career. Especially in the face of converging epidemics and dismantling the roots of systematic racism in our country, we as public health professionals are being called upon to lead throughout these trials and tribulations. As leaders in the local and global public health community, we must emerge stronger and even more committed to making our planet, our society, our schools, and our communities safer and healthier for everyone. You each have worked incredibly hard to get to this point, and I greatly look forward to seeing the tremendous impact that you continue to make in the future. Congratulations again, class of 2023. Go forth and make this world a more healthy and equitable place for us all. Thank you so much.
It is now my pleasure to invite Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Rashed Ahmed, to the podium to introduce this year's Donaldson Award recipient and the 2023 class speaker.
Thank you, Dean Giles. I'm delighted to present this year's Class Speaker Award to Abigail O'Sullivan. You want to come here? Abigail is from Rockford, Illinois, and she is an MPH student with a concentration in maternal and child health epidemiology. She embarked upon her graduate degree with the School of Public Health in November 2021, where she has been able to expand her critical thinking skills in response to the community health needs. Abigail's commitment to health work can be illustrated best through her founding of Bloodbirds in 2021, which began campus-wide conversations surrounding period poverty. Her team earned the UIC Maurice Prize for Innovative Project and was also chosen to receive the Jane Addams Distinguished Service Award for her commitment to menstrual equity. Most recently, Abigail presented an update of Bloodbirds at the Fall Forum of the UIC ES2 Climate Hub, which is path towards sustainable and just community engagement. Abigail has gone to create various projects at UIC, which include workshops, service projects, service and educational content for students, which demonstrate her commitment to her peers' success. She has also developed a literature review to assess the impact of social determinants of health on children and youth with special health needs. Abigail is a member of several committees, including MCH, Spring Symposium Committee, CityMac Leadership, and Epidemiology Conference Committee, and the Minority Conference Planning Committee of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Please join me in welcoming Abigail.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, and thank you, Dean Giles, and President Killeen, Vice Chancellor Barish. I am deeply grateful to Alan W. Donaldson and the award committee for this opportunity and honor to stand in front of my community, including our esteemed faculty and colleagues, our family and friends, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2023. I'd like to start out by sharing a little bit about myself. My name is Abigail, but I go by Abby, A-B-B-Y. I am the baby of my family, and I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, sitting at the kitchen table, listening to friends and family speaking in English, Yoruba, Etino, and French. Woo! When I was 9 years old, I visited Nigeria for the first time. I met my aunt, and one evening I witnessed as she breastfed her small child. Even though she was going through a chronic illness, she still passed on healing and nutrients from her body to her child. She met the needs of his heart, his stomach, and his future immune system. She was my first glimpse into public health. A staple of my time with the maternal and child health cohort has been making beautiful PowerPoints. Even though I don't have slides today, I want to share what I would have written on my outline slide. So, section 1, grounding ourselves in this moment. Section 2, what public health means to me. Finally, section 3, a second encouragement to rest. First, let's ground ourselves. I know today has been busy. 7:30 on a Thursday night is not the most convenient time to host the ceremony, but I find it quite symbolic of our degrees. Jumping into this program immediately after the last one, juggling competing priorities, and leaving the workplace is not convenient. We all had to sacrifice something to be here. And just like our degrees, public health is not convenient. I'm so happy you are here and that you didn't choose convenience. If no one else has said it, or if you still don't believe it, I want to say, well done. I'm so proud of you. So, as I wrote this speech, I began reading Rest is Resistance, a manifesto by Tricia Hersey. In this book, Tricia, the Nat Bishop, describes her grandmother, Ora, who used to take 30 minutes every day to rest her eyes. Now, we don't have 30 minutes to spare tonight, and I know some of you have reservations to get to, but I just want us to take 30 seconds to just rest and ground ourselves in this moment. As you are able and comfortable, please sit upright and notice how your seat is supporting you, planting you firmly onto the ground. I invite you to close your eyes with me. Scan your body and identify any tension. For 4 seconds, breathe in deeply and think about something or someone that is bringing you happiness right now. Exhale. Let's do that one more time and imagine what deep rest looks like for you. Inhale deeply from your belly and hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly. You can all open your eyes now. I hope that moving forward, you remember that even as we are trying to do everything, we don't need to reach a specific point or accomplish a certain task to rest. We are already worthy of rest. Thank you for joining me in this moment. Now, taking you back to the PowerPoint, we are now at the second section. What does public health mean to me? My journey in public health blossomed as an undergraduate student when I learned that 1 in 4 women, girls, and other menstruators sometimes cannot afford menstrual products like pads and tampons and menstrual cups. This is known as period poverty, and it can affect anyone, including those who live in the tents 2 blocks from here and some of our very own peers here at UIC. When I asked my friends to help me implement my project called Blood Buds and donate over 1,000 free menstrual cups to our UIC and Chicago community, I didn't realize that we would also be able to increase students' reproductive health, literacy, and autonomy, dismantle period poverty, and uplift the voices of non-binary and trans menstruators. I didn't realize it would lead me here. Now that I'm here, I'm increasingly asked, what is public health? What can you do with public health? What are you doing after your public health degree? So can I get a quick raise of hands from our graduates? How many of y'all have been asked these questions? Okay, y'all know I like surveys since I study epidemiology, and thank you for that. So what is public health? I like to answer, public health is everything. Today, through our amazing public health education, we can educate, change policy, organize programs, implement guidelines. We can partner with communities, connect people to the reproductive health care that they deserve, fight climate change, make healthcare free, combat racism, xenophobia, and homophobia, and decolonize data. Public health means making lives better. Even if our individual work is focused on one group, one strategy, or one level, we impact the system, and we can change everything. Public health is also about the nothing. It's about knowing that our prevention of disease worked. Because of our efforts, we will be able to say that there are no toxic chemicals in the air or in any soil in any community, that there are no gaps in life expectancy, that Black women and birthing people can dance out of hospitals confident that there were no and will be no gaps in care. Sometimes nothing is everything. All right, friends, so now we are in that part of the PowerPoint where we would start closing our laptops and zipping up our bags. Again, public health is everything. In this room, there are future cancer researchers, early childhood experts, and community educators, just to name a few. And that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what this graduating class will begin to accomplish. I can't even imagine how diverse our paths in public health will be. But public health is also hard. How is it that we are entering a career where we are always swimming upstream? Have you ever felt the burden of knowing that public health is everything, that we are tasked with solving everything? That is why I encourage us to rest. While we are all called to be leaders, we cannot do that ourselves if we are not well and healthy or in the process of healing. In the process of healing communities and larger populations, we cannot forget ourselves. In the process of doing everything, basically saving the world and all, let's make space for nothing. Make space for rest, because rest is resistance. Rest is public health. We are public health. Before I conclude this speech, I need to pay honor to my village. Where would I be without my colleagues and friends from all my student-led organizations? I'm so grateful for the training, mentorship, and financial support of my advisors and various UIC offices, including the Maternal and Child Health Center of Excellence. Woo! Thank you to my people who got me here. My mentors, Dr. Supriya Mehta, Dr. Arden Handler, Dr. Nadine Peacock, and the Banks who moved through this world with an unwavering stride. My friends and my family who kept me accountable, cried with me, fed me, and let me nap on their couches. My late but inspiring Nigerian grandmother and great-grandmother, Mama Oni and Iye. And of course, my wonderful parents, Dr. Fumilayo Suleiman and Dr. Shitu Suleiman, who were the first to live such a bold life and encourage and support me to do the same. Je t'aime. Finally, I thank Jesus. To God be every ounce of glory. Thank you so much, and congratulations, class of 2023. We did it. Thank you. So at this time, I invite the graduating class of 2023 to rise if you are able, and join me in the reading of our school's Statement of Values. They may be found on the screen and also on page 3 of your Public Health Commencement Supplemental booklet. So we'll say this in unison. Okay. We are a community of scholars, students, and staff dedicated to creating a healthy society. In achieving this goal, we are committed to community, the basic unit of analysis for public health, enabling communities to address their own problems, share skills, lower barriers to action, and act as a catalyst for progress. To knowledge, the pursuit, development, and dissemination of which will improve the health of the public. To professionalism, acting with integrity and collegiality in learning, teaching, research, and public service. To stewardship of natural, human, and financial resources. To idealism, whether secularly or spiritually motivated. To caring, promoting compassion for and action on behalf of others. To justice, whereby everyone is given access to the resources necessary to live a humane life and to fulfill their potential. To diversity, celebrating unique contributions to the fabric of our community. To respect, for the members of this community and for those whom our efforts are intended to serve. To humility, as we set our goals, as we work together to achieve them, and as we address the inevitable conflicts produced by those joint efforts. Congratulations and welcome to the field of public health. Please be seated.
Thank you for inspiring us all. We now come to the high point of our commencement, the recognition of our new graduates. Your name recording will play as you cross the stage. In the event of a technical difficulty, your name will be read. Please be patient to ensure that all graduates have the best experience possible. After you have crossed the stage, please return to your seat and remain seated for the remainder of the ceremony. Dr. Shriki.
We will begin with our Doctor of Public Health graduates who will be hooded by their faculty advisors. Nisha
Puntam Baker.
Laboratory Workforce Development in Liberia, an examination of human resources, infrastructure, and policy. Michael Petros, advisor.
Angela Marie Tagtoe.
Adapting in Complex Environments, a mixed methods convergent study of structural impairment and systems thinking among public health dietitians. Yuka Asada, advisor.
Jacqueline A. Tiema Massey.
Tax-exempt private nonprofit hospital investments and decision-making factors in addressing the social determinants of health, a multi-case study. Christina Welter, advisor.
Danielle Lazar.
Using systems thinking for translating evidence into practice, a case study of embedding shared decision-making within a federally qualified health center network. Eve Pinsker, advisor.
Sandra Lorena San Miguel Majors.
Achieving Cancer Genetics Health Equity for Latinas, a mixed method sequential multi-case study. Eve Pinsker, advisor.
Jillian Doss Walker.
Partnership approaches and factors supporting immunization services at the Indian Health Service and tribal health programs. Steve Severin, advisor. We will now recognize our Doctor of Philosophy and Master's graduates by academic division. Doctor of Philosophy,
Sayeda Fatima Naqvi.
Community Health Sciences. The Agency Effect, a multi-level analysis of child welfare agency characteristics and youth sexual debut. Arden Handler, advisor.
Alexis Grant.
Re-envisioning community-led public health through a case study of Chicago's response. Jenny Hebert Byrne, advisor. Community Health Sciences, Master of Public Health.
Candace Gary. Divya V. Francis. Ina P. Flaminia. Allison Sophia Giordano.
Lisette Guadalupe Perez Carapia.
Sarah Elizabeth Cook.
Haley Frances Steele. Kiela K. Moreno.
Princey Daniel.
Leah Watt. Jennifer Placencia Lopez.
Halion Dashtaleg. Leticia M. Orazo.
Christian Gabriel Urenia.
Allison Hauptshine.
Lauren Sandher.
Stefania Elise Coxon.
Cynthia Medina.
Celeste Maricruz Chacharlak Zapeta. Amanda Ann Goldstein.
Melinda R. Week.
Mackenzie Alana Ferguson.
Boyan Jarish Muh Oche. Samantha McAllister.
Kiara Johnson. Margaret I. Aguamo. Jessica Lynn George.
Jacqueline R. Muff. Miguel Angel Nunez.
Catherine Alexandra Hummel.
Malene Sanchez. Charnel Lanice Watson.
Ashley L. Evans. Yazin Hikmat Kudemi.
Amy K. Malinowski.
McKinley Anderson.
Mayra Miranda.
Kristen Elizabeth Lawrence.
Mai Chua Bang.
William Barshaw. Maya Kieran Bauman. Yalamzod Shumet Nkubari.
Henry E. Seagull.
Catherine Ann Hart. Emily Elizabeth Etzkorn.
Abigail O. Suleiman.
Sajia Aziz.
Alhainurika Navela Putri. Juliet Pinero Spechner. Gian Francis Santos Munar.
Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences, Master of Public Health.
Juliet Pinero Spechner.
Yulisa Aguilar.
Emily Marie Morales Reyes.
Alessandrina Corinne Holiday. Shelby Melissa Brand.
Marina V. Tekwanway.
Marcos Gonzalez Jr. Rowan T. Al-Khatib.
Jaspreet Singh.
Meheret N. Kubari.
Destiny Gray. Doctor of Philosophy, Epidemiology, and Biostatistics. Christina Hutton.
Christina Hutton.
Advisor, Maria Argos. Impact of genetics on coronary heart disease, low-density lipoprotein, cholesterol levels, and control.
Frances Rose Lendacki.
COVID-19 surveillance and vaccination among non-healthcare, non-congregate workers in Chicago. Supriya Mehta, Advisor.
Ray Chua Chen.
Some problems in statistical analysis of clinical data, from missing data to non-inferiority trials. Sanjeev Basu, Advisor.
Julia Fenlon Howland.
Mental health and substance use disorder hospitalizations and disorder identified deliveries in Illinois. Advisor Kristen Rankin and assisting with hooding, Dr. Arden Handler. Epidemiology and Biostatistics, Master of Public Health.
Ella Rose Raymond Uyghur.
Madeline Yvette Hughes. William Harmon. Pratima Bosnet.
Verena Wolf.
Jennifer Lee.
Chu Xian Tang.
Zara A. Hafiz. May Can.
Asta Patel.
Madeline Gilmore.
Catherine Marie Marshall.
Gintare K. Dallas. Paige Lauren Hardy.
Gabriella Williamson.
Asim.
Samara Ray.
Anango Amar. Brittany Maria Bullocks.
Esther Pacheco. Tanner Lee Shull.
Michaela Krogan.
Ellie Renee Martell.
Alexander Dyer. Cien Naya Joyeux.
Erica C. Sanchez.
Maveen Jahan. Eduardo R. Cardiel. Jeffrey Jiahui Liang.
Daniel Fuji Pratt.
Ashley Z. Johnson.
Jessica A. Rona.
Daniel Antonio.
Olivia Marie Russo.
Rubinder Kaur. Eva Brotslaw.
Jared Walker.
Danielle Elizabeth Amonica. Maura Nicole Ducharme. Alexander C. Gallegos. Arthi Dutta.
Myasia McLaren.
Health Policy and Administration, Master of Health Administration.
Flavio B. McHale. Ahmed Hamayan Mian. Ruhina Sheikh. Jamie Vogel. Shannon Sullivan.
Sena He.
Carolina Torres.
Alejandro Acosta. Manur T. Bhatti.
J.S. Mehta.
Jorge Garcia.
Julia Nakashima. Gianna N. Velasquez.
Gabriela Johanna Chavez.
Adriana Isabel Beatrice Velarde.
Alexandra Nicole Burns.
Emily Mitosa Umeda. Stephanie L. Robinson. Jenna Rogers.
Jennifer J. E. Drovo.
Denisha L. Pruitt.
Colin Gibson. Carl Gieske.
Noman Z. Syed.
Adam W. Basak.
Monica Zaluska. Nicole L. Silber.
Nicole Emily Diaz.
Sonia Massey.
Elise S. Lacani. Aviana Arabella Aguilar Romero.
Parisha K. Sangani.
Meghna Bayareddy.
Neha Sailesh Patel.
Tanya Deepesh. Anuhia Chimarla. Safa Iqbal.
Nicole Suss.
Christina Marie Gordon.
Michael Tarkey. Austin Robert Snyder.
Dora K. Corey.
Health Policy Administration, Master of Public Health.
Melissa Cornechuk.
Eric Luis Malif Orta. Jessica R.A. Perkle.
Madeline M. Klein. Nora Benomar. Emily Levy Doncona.
Sabrina Anam Udin.
Jameen R. Blessoff. Lydia Jael DeYoung.
Kathy Tron.
Health Policy Administration, Executive Masters of Health Administration.
Venkat R. Kakalu. Andres Felipe Giraldo Ledesma. Joanna M. Daco. Rosalina Cintron.
Francina Miguelina Peralta Machado.
Roxana Luisa Aguirre Castaneda.
Melanie Grace Maeda. Anne Elizabeth Waymeyer.
Emily Ka Hoover.
Tejal Patel. Yemelin Lambert Nodig Bessie.
Ramandeep Kaur.
Gia Mac Nikoloff.
Caroline Deskin. Tanya Barach. Ali Alaraj.
Moore Health Policy Administration, Master of Public Health.
Kiari D. Cooper.
Nandini Sarup.
Yvonne Guzman. Allegra Bermudez.
Amanda E. Rivera.
Emily Cleveland.
Marion Lee Morgan.
We will now recognize our bachelor's graduates. Bachelor of Arts,
Nadia Tanweer. Catherine Kate Shin.
Darlie Mae Adilier Endaya. Miriam Elayon. Olivia Marie DeFiglio. Gracia D. Espinoza.
Fiza B. Patel.
Elizabeth Ruth Christian.
Kelly Jessie Tunu. Semen Nasir.
Sophia Diaz. Victoria Alexandria Dawn Alba.
Sung Hyo Wee.
Leslie Cervantes. Myra Garcia.
Kayla Payne. Sarah Joan Maher. Andrew M. Powell. Caroline G. Moriarty.
Joanna L. Alexis.
Sheila Rarangera.
Sofia Andrea Gonzalez.
Unique Phillips. Mummy Praise and Kemakolam Oval.
Fazia Nishat Jafar.
Sara Rajapkar.
Alejandra Carrillo. Mona M. Abumalu.
Caitlin V. Wing.
Ramses de Jesus Baez Tejeda. Alina Khan. Jaylin A. Braswell.
Mariam Rahali Mizagir Butler.
Angel Ledesma.
Ishmael Noah Mendoza.
Adefunke Lydia Idowu. Hannah Joy Jacobson. Emmeline Odette Gervais.
Alicia Samad. Temi Lolua Ayolua Shodipa.
And finally, we would like to recognize a student from the College of Applied Health Sciences, Masters in Health Informatics, Anamika Dubé.
Wow, that was amazing. That's awesome. Let's give our graduates one more rousing round of applause. Yeah. I have to say the future of public health is so bright, so I'm just in awe of all of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the amazing things that you will do. I want to thank all of you for joining us for this wonderful celebration today. I would like to conclude by thanking all of our speakers today, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the UIC staff members whose efforts made today's celebration possible. UIC staff members contribute in so many important ways to the function of our enormous and complex institution, and we owe them all a huge debt of gratitude. Please join me in thanking the UIC staff. I want to add one last congratulations to all of our graduates. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, which will happen in just a second, the audience and graduates are asked to please remain seated while the platform party and the faculty recess. Please exercise caution when leaving the forum and the parking areas. In conclusion, congratulations to all of our graduates and to all the family and friends on this memorable day. The School of Public Health commencement is now adjourned. Barrier carriers, please come forward and escort the platform party along with the faculty. Have a good evening, everyone.